Welcome back to the Hobby Musician, and once again, welcome to the Workbench. Now, if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, we're glad you're back, and if you're brand new, don't forget to click subscribe down below the video and hit that bell so that you can get notified every week when we drop a new episode. Now, on today's show, we've got kind of a quick project for us, and it's going to be an all-acoustic edition. A buddy of mine recently upgraded from this current Taylor up to several levels higher, and he wanted that to become his main guitar. Now, he does a lot of playing where it's a really good idea for him to have a backup guitar on stage, just in case he's in the middle of a song and breaks a string. There's no time to get that taken care of, so he's got to put down one guitar and pick up another. And so what he wanted to do is he wants to convert this model, his older guitar, into that backup. Now, one of the concerns he had is he started to notice that the longer he was playing this, he started to pick up some background humming and kind of some electronic hiss, and he started to get concerned that the electronics maybe are getting dirty, or maybe there's some connections coming loose. So he asked if I could take a quick look at it, and that's what we're going to do on today's show. Now, this guitar, this is a beautiful Taylor 414 CE. So the 14 part is that's their grand auditorium body style. It's one of their best sellers, most popular models. These guitars, kind of on any level, the 114, 214, all the way up to 8s and 9s, all that kind of stuff, these guitars are just fantastic all-purpose strummers. They got great tone, great feel. So this is a really, really good guitar, but even a good guitar can start to make you a little concerned if it starts introducing all this electronic hiss. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the pickups here right on the top, and the way that these Taylors are made, everything kind of all comes out, rotates out at once, as you can see. And here's where you would replace your battery whenever that runs down. And in between here, now I know it's hard to see over there, but in between you can actually get a really good view into these electronics. And right now I'll put up a picture of what they look like currently. So as you can see here, if you look in between the plastic face and the kind of where the circuit board starts, you can see all the channels and the grime and dirt and grit that's all in there. Now, well, how does something get that way? Well, believe it or not, just dust particles that are floating around in the air quite often can build up very, very small amounts of just static electricity charge. And if you think about an electronic pickup system like this in an open, hollow body, wooden enclosure like a guitar, well, the electric current and charge flowing through these circuit boards and these faders and everything, that electric current can, over time, very slowly start to attract these statically charged dust particles. And if you have a guitar long enough, hey, one by one, those particles start to add up, and as you can see in the picture, this pickup system needs some work. Now, the good news for us is it can be a very quick job. If you run to the hardware store or Walmart or anywhere where they sell compressed air, all you gotta do is pick up one of these cans and just, with a few spurts, you can take these nozzles that they all come with, you can get into all the nooks and crannies and gently, if you do it gently enough, don't hold the trigger too long, but you can really start to clean out all of these pickups. And this is a quick and easy fix for a lot of guitars that might be in the same situation. So right now I'm going to go in and I'm going to do the majority of it with this, and then if we need to, at the very end, I'm going to look it over. Sometimes if there's a little cranny that was hard to get with this, you can always come back in with some Q-tips and finish up the job. So hang tight, we're going to go in here and see what all we can get out. All right, well, we already made a huge difference just with working with that compressed air, but there's a couple places where I'm noticing it's kind of hard to get that nozzle into. So I'm going to go back now, like I said earlier, and I'm going to take the Q-tip and try to get in and just see if I can finish off and get those last little clumps of dirt out. So I'll be back in a minute. is, I think I've got it. Between the compressed air duster and the Q-tip, I think we've got just about everything out that we can. So now I'll put up a picture of what it looks like now. And as you can see, when you look at the same kind of tracks and areas where the faders, like the EQ faders and the volume faders and everything move, you can now see that we have a much cleaner track. And in terms of playability and the sound issues that my friend was noticing, that's a big part of what can clean up those sound. If the dirt and the dust starts to interfere with the circuits themselves, that's where a lot of that interference can come. So I'm going to get this click back in, and we're going to swap this up, get it plugged in, and we're going to take a listen, give it a good playthrough to see if we've addressed some of those issues. So we'll be back in a jiffy for some playing. All right, well, we are back here. We got it all plugged in, and we're ready to test this to see if our work with dusting out all the electronics maybe made a difference. So right now, what I've got this plugged directly in. So what you're hearing is a direct line through the helix into the recording interface. And I did put a touch of some plate reverb on there just to kind of fill out the sound a little bit. But otherwise, there's no EQ, there's nothing else messing with the signal. So one of the things with pickups like this is you have a lot of variety. You can have control over the EQ, you can add brilliance, you can also, there's a notch filter on here, so you can really shape the sound by selecting certain frequencies and boosting, cutting, all that kind of stuff. But what I've done here is I've just kind of set these at around what I like to hear, what I think that this model and this type of Taylor guitar kind of sounds good in. So currently, I mean, just to hear. I mean, it's really got a nice full sound, and I can sit here, I've got this kind of wide open, the volume is all the way pegged, I've just got this all the way up, because if you're going to hear any problems, it's usually with higher volumes and really extreme settings. So right now, it's not sounding bad at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some altered tuning, kind of some stuff, and we'll play a little bit more to see if maybe some other settings we can really dive into this. So hold on just a second. Well, I tell you what, I think the pickups and electronics are sounding really good. As I was playing through that, I really couldn't hear any kind of unwanted hisses or hums, so I think our cleaning project really worked. Well, if you want to see more projects like this, go ahead and leave us a note down in the comments. And as always, until next time, play on, my friends. Play on.